Glorilla. Glorilla tells women to be toxic for the rest of their 20s. The clip.
Hey, ladies, how are you? Well, I'm gonna call my twin, and I just want to let y'all know: be toxic for the rest of your 20s. You only get one life. Live your toxic 20s. You never get to be 20 years old, 21, 22, 23, 24. None of that ever again in your life. Be toxic, because don't get in your 30s thinking you could just go slashing tires and doing all this crazy. Too old for that now. You too mature. Be toxic for the rest of your 20s. And if you delusional, turn it up a notch. Enjoy the rest of your 20s. You only get to do it one time.
All right, you guys heard Glorilla. I know Hank approves of this message. This is what he speaks about. I'm King talking Lapeef and Sunday every week, so right up your alley right there, Hank. Well, let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's break this down because this is what's being told to our youth. I'm curious to get the gentleman's opinion about this. I'm sure some of us have daughters, and a lot of us on the panel are concerned about our future. Let's go ahead and break this down. I'm gonna go ahead and start with Trey Smooth first. Glorilla tells women to be toxic for the rest of your 20s. What are your thoughts about it, sir?
Hide your wife, hide your kids, man. Listen, this is what the algorithms push to the front. So we have to understand that. And unfortunately, our daughters will be exposed to it, like it or not. So in my case, I certainly familiarize my children with the context of what this is, and that it's just entertainment. Well, you should just see it as entertainment, because I really do think that a lot of these women are actually like this. And, you let them know the consequences, the repercussions of the types of things that can come from this. Like, you live in toxic in your 20s, like that's your prime as a woman. That's when you should be investing in your future as a woman. And you want to go ahead and ruin your 20s with the Pookies and Ray Rays and drugs and a bunch of sex and everything else. Your 30s are going to be horrible. You're going to be looking for the cleanup man, and he's probably not going to be with it. You're going to be a couple kids in. You're going to be stressed out. You're going to start looking older than you are, and your 30s and the rest of your life will be ruined because of it. Us as men know we have to invest in our 20s. We know what we have to do. We have to work hard towards our future, and women should be doing the same exact thing. You're not going to be suitable for a man. You're not going to be a suitable mother, and you won't be suitable for life. You go ahead and ruin your 20s if you want to. I understand you get them once. There's a balance, right? Anything in life, there's a balance. So there is, of course, you play a little bit, but it doesn't mean that you have to give your body to everybody. It doesn't mean that you have to indulge in drugs. It doesn't mean that you have to be toxic. Like, when has it become cool to be toxic? Why would you encourage people to be toxic? How stupid is that? These are the people that we're pushing to the forefront. This is the examples that we have for our children. This is who our children are supposed to look up to and aspire to be. And the problem is, us as a society, we reward this nonsense. They are millionaires. So that's what gives their words so much weight, because you want to be like them, because they're showing you all the good that comes from it. They're showing you them having fun, driving exotic cars, living in the most lavish lives possible. They're in the biggest houses. They're messing with the fanciest dudes, the richest guys and everything. And it looks fun, but they're not telling you about what that's going to look like 10, 20 years from now and what's going to happen to you. That's where I'm at with it.
All right. Go ahead and go to Austin. What are your thoughts about it? Gorilla.
That type of message is so publicized and just pushed out because that's what we throw our money behind. That's what women throw their money behind in men. And I think it's a foolish philosophy to try to teach your children, because as Trev already said, you're gonna be 20 years older at some point. You're gonna be 30 years older at some point. And when you look back and you are lonely or you don't have a man, I mean, there was an old quote that I love. I heard a fourth grade teacher say this to her kids, to her class. She said, "You're born looking like your parents, but in the end, you're gonna die looking like the decisions you made." And I mean, you're the product of your decisions. And what I even more so find very interesting is that typically women that push rhetoric like this, the women that are saying be the city girl, be this and that, these women actually are married. They're off the market. A lot of those women are married. Or if they're not married, they already have a baby daddy. They're spoken for. I'll say it that way, because we're not a culture that puts a high premium on marriage that much anymore, but they're already spoken for. But it's interesting how they want to push that particular message to the youth, but they themselves are hypocritical even in that sense.
So do you think there's a certain type of agenda that's being pushed?
It's an agenda. Keep black people separated, keep black men and women doing foolish crap. Keep them separated. That's it. That's always been the agenda. Keep people divided in any capacity, in any way you can. Keep the dichotomy between black men and black women at full speed, at full pace. That's it.
All right, Cloud Jones, what are your thoughts about what Glorilla had to say?
As far as what Glorilla had to say, I just feel as though like she's bugging. Like I don't think it's good advice to be telling girls to wild out in their 20s. If anything, I think it's a better idea to tell them to focus on family early in their 20s. And if you want to build your family and then 18 years later you want to get divorced and wild out in your 50s, you better off doing that. Like you're better off wilding out after you've already put in your contribution. You've had your family, you've had your children, you've done all that, and live your cougar life. That to me makes more sense if we want to talk about, expressing your whole phase or whatever the case is. I think it's better for women to do that later in life than earlier in life. Also, I feel like later in life they have more options to do that. Money, they got more access. They can kind of get the pick of the litter as far as the youth goes. They can attract the young guys. So I feel like they're better doing that later in life, and while you're young, just focus on building your family.
All right. Brother Sweeney, what are your thoughts about it, sir? Glorilla tells women to be toxic for the rest of your 20s.
Kind of what I expect from somebody like her. But when you started playing the video, and y'all probably seen me on my phone, the very first thing I did was go and look at the comments. I had to go look at the comments just to see how people felt about what she said. And I'm going to say I was pleasantly surprised. Everybody said this chick is off her rocker. And I was actually proud to see that. You know what I mean? This is on the Shade Room. That's a breeding ground for toxicity. And even they said, chick, you taking this too far. But I will say this, though. That response, along with what she said, is the reason why rap music has been failing over the last couple of years. People are tired of hearing that shit. People are tired of this toxic music, this bullshit they keep playing. They're tired of it. And it's starting to manifest itself. People can't sell shows no more. Can't even sell out half a venue anymore. People can't sell these records no more. The tours are being canceled left and right. It's because we're tired of hearing that type of shit. So, I mean, to hell with her. You want to go be toxic, but ain't nobody walking down that road with you.